We are live with another episode of Vicious Dishes because I'm so corny and I had to make a podcast about myself. But with that being said, I do like to bring on guests. As you can see, my guest today is someone who's actually very important to me. Her name is Becca. She goes by Becca Wiley on the independent scene, and she really has a story for the books, for the history books, excuse me. And she really, really is special to me. So, Becca, welcome to the second episode of my podcast. Thank you for coming on tonight.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Of course, of course. Don't all jump at once, you know? No, I'm kidding. So, Becca, couple questions that I have to ask you. Now, for those who know and for those who don't know, when Becca first started out, she was actually a part of my story. And she was actually my manager at one point, which was
Oh,
very cool. And I hold that near and dear to my heart. But it's all a learning curve, right? I was a valet. I started off as a valet. I started off as a Greek valet. I'm not Greek, right? We all got to start somewhere. So, Becca, tell me first and foremost what it was like for you before you got where you are now. We're going to get there. But what was it like for you to be so young and, having your condition that we'll get into as well, and stepping foot into the ring and being a part of something that you love so much? Tell me what that was like for you.
well, it was really like a dream come true, honestly, because I've been watching wrestling since I was like really young, because my dad introduced it to me. And so, like, I see all these people, at school doing like hanging out with their friends, like on the weekends or like late at night on weekdays, and I'm at home watching wrestling. Like, left parties to go home to make sure I'm home for in time for wrestling. It was a priority to make sure that I watch it, and to be doing it now and like at the time like training, it was just really cool because it's like I'm posting these like the training videos, and then I have people who I'm kind of friends with, but friendly, but haven't talked to in a while. Like they'll be like, "Yo, this is like really cool" and stuff, and it's like really cool to see people like support me. From people who used to like poke fun at me for like liking wrestling to people who are like, "This is actually kind of cool that she's actually kind of doing it now."
Yeah, hell yeah. So, I relate to that because that was me. That was my story. Like you're a young kid, you watch it, you love it, you fall in love with it. And it's just one of those things when you want to do it, you want to do it. And I know that Bailey had a very huge influence on you. Like your Bailey is my Lita. And I know that, she's, retweeted your stuff and has seen you. You've met her a bunch of times. What is it like for you to essentially, all of us that are doing it now, we are the ones that are going to be up next, essentially. So what is it like for you being like on the back burner of what's to come on, the independence in women's wrestling and following Bailey's footsteps?
I just hope that if I can make even like a quarter of the impact that she has on my life and someone else's, I think that would be something like huge to me because she's like kept me going and inspired me so much. So if I could do that for anyone, that would just like mean the world to me.
Yeah, hell yeah. And speaking on inspiration, cutting to the chase here, you were diagnosed with cerebral palsy, and that is tough. Um, when I first met you and I met you, I was like, she's fine. You're fine. You're tough. And to be able to do what you do is not easy. And I don't know what kind of pain you might feel or if, you're hurt sometimes. And we've talked a lot, me and you. And, I know that there were times you doubted yourself, not only mentally, but physically. And I think that the fact that you keep going, even though there were times I wanted to, give you a little taste of my own medicine, 'cause you're sassy as all hell, but I love you. You know, even though that you deal with those things, to be able to overcome and keep going and not stopping is what makes successful people, not only in wrestling, but in everything. And I think you are smart enough to know that. So tell me, maybe one of your biggest challenges, maybe in having this condition or other than that, just anything in wrestling.
So specifically, it gets to when it's like a lot of running, especially in training. Like I've had it sometimes in matches where my cerebral palsy kicks in, but it mostly I
Mm.
feel it at training where it's all of a sudden like my legs will like lock up and it's like really stiff and it's like I can't like even like move. So it's like I gotta like get out of the ring to like get my legs moving again. So it's
Yeah.
just like really uncomfortable, but it's been really nice because where I'm training with Cheeseburger, he's been really patient and understanding with it.
Yeah, no, he's great. So you are 1,000% in good hands with Burger and Preacher and all that, and I may or may not be joining you soon. That is a fun fact. Yes. Um, but again, you keep going no matter what. You deal with these flare-ups, you deal with a condition that, not many people know what it's like to have, and to be able to do what you love to do with that is incredible. And know many people that you probably inspire that you may know or you may not even know. And I think that's what makes you special is that you're able to overcome all odds in your life and do what you love to do. That is a passion. So that to me, when someone has a passion for something, right, they go all in. And by the way, you have the most supportive parents in the entire world. Okay. Your parents are great. Because my parents were supportive, but they tried to protect me from possibly failing.
Mm,
So when I was younger, your age and younger, I said this is what I wanted to do. I'm talking like 4 or 5 years old, like
mm.
I was really young. My inspiration was Stone Cold Steve Austin at the time. So pretty sure my parents didn't want me throwing up the middle finger to people. But, they were like, hey, like it's a pipe dream, like, go be a doctor or go be a teacher, whatever. But, the older I got, they were like, hey, like she actually could do this, and then they really understood what it was that I wanted to. So for you to have your parents kind of help you out until you're able to do all these things on your own and drive yourself and whatnot, don't ever forget that no
Mhm.
matter how far you go. And I think you know that, but don't ever forget how important that is because without their support, and it would be a lot harder. Um, so another thing, I know that you are making a lot of noise and you're doing much more. You're training consistently and constantly. What are goals for you in competition and maybe yourself, as in your character? What and who is Becca Wiley?
I want to like my goals. I just want to get to a point in the ring where I'm confident, where I'm like I don't have to like overthink because I have an overthinking problem, an anxiety problem, and it's not fun, especially when you're in the ring. So it's like I want to be like in the ring. I want to like know
Welcome.
who I am, like to a point where it's like I don't. It's not a question anymore. But
Yeah.
like goals, as in like besides like mentally, um, I just want to like wrestle as many places as I can and get my name out there, and I want to wrestle Allison Kay because I have to.
Yes. Well, I know that you and Allison Kay have your own little banter and relationship going on. I do find it fun and entertaining, so there's that. Um, I actually got to wrestle Allison Kay. You were at that show, I believe.
I was front row.
Yes. That was when you gave me the action figure doll that I still have that is on display in my house because I think it's amazing. So thank you for that.
Of course.
Becca was a super Vicky fan at one point, just gonna say and put that out there. No, no, all
Don't
jokes
remind
aside.
me. Oh,
Um,
nightmares.
oh, come on, I'm not that bad. But Allison Kay is definitely that's a heavy competitor, man. To step in the ring with her, especially after like the kind of relationship you guys have, that would probably be a bucket list item for you, I would think.
Yeah, that's like something I
Yeah.
really do.
See, that's what it's all about, man. So, like again, earlier I was talking about the whole inspiration thing. What is it like to know that, doing this now and, possibly making it in some form or fashion in the future? What is it like for you knowing that maybe another girl or boy with cerebral palsy, giving them that motivation? What does that feel like for you? Because I know you said that Bailey was your inspiration and, kind of doing the thing. And for me, Lita was my inspiration. When I saw her and met her again at Icons, I went up to her and let her know again. But what is what is it like for you to feel that feeling and know that you can inspire daily?
If I could inspire like just anyone, it would be like insane because that's always been my goal. Because it's like you have the wrestlers and like, you have the, I guess, the anti-divas, you have the divas, Vicky, I mean, yeah. But it's like you never really see anyone with like I guess a disability, because it's like, if it is, it's nothing like, I don't know, it's nothing like, I don't even know how to put it, but it's like I don't even know how to explain it, but it's
I
like
know what you
you
mean.
never see anyone with at least a known disability, or like they share it. It's like everyone knows about it, and that's what I kind of want to be. So the people who do have disabilities can say, "Hey, if she can do it, why does that mean? Why can't I do it? Why can't I can be like her too, and I can go and do whatever they want to do."
Oh yeah, and it opens so many more doors for people, for yourself. Like there's literally the sky is the limit, and I think that you can do anything. You're proving that you can do anything you put your mind to, whether you're in pain physically, whether you doubt yourself mentally. By the way, we all do that. That is not just a you thing. When it comes to the mental games in wrestling, we all do it. We all doubt ourselves. We all have those moments like, I'm not going here, I'm not working here, I'm not doing this. That's just the business. And we've talked about this, and I gave you a little tough love on it, but it's the truth.
Hmm.
It's very hard, it's very cutthroat, but it's not impossible. And I think that's the biggest thing here. And this is why I wanted you on, because I feel like you're showing the world, essentially the world, that you can do anything you want. And not only just is it women empowerment, it's, people with disabilities empowerment, it's younger generation empowerment. You're younger and you're doing so much that little me wish I could have did, or little whoever, probably wish they could have did earlier in their life. So I'm proud of you because I know how hard it's been for you the last couple of years, and you keep going. I've been saying that this whole time, but you keep going. And that's what's important. And you know what I like? We all forget to be fans, and we have to cross that line. Like, if we want to work, we want to be fans, but we're all fans at the end of the day. The reasons why we want to do this is because we watched it, because we enjoy it, because we're fans of it. And I
Hmm.
think, now that the generation of professional wrestlers are being able to embrace the fact that they are fans is going to help make this go around so much more. So, you know, I love that you're a fan still. And I love that you go to shows. And you know what? I used to be like, nah, nah, nah. I was trained the old school way. I went to like two shows, a house show. I'm just like, man, I'm gonna go watch a wrestling show. Like, nothing wrong with it, because if you enjoy it and if it's what you love, and I don't know about you, but I can probably tell just based on how you are and whatnot. But when I go to live shows, if I'm not, backstage, I just look at that ring and I look at the stage and I look at the fans and I want to do this so bad. Do you feel that?
Yeah, even when I was younger, I'd always say to my mom, like when we go to shows, I'm like, I really want to touch the ropes. Like, I just want to know what they feel like. Like every time, I'm like, I just want to touch them. I want to jump off of them. I want to spring off them. And it's like, and I'm like, I
That's
still want to do that. Like, I want to know how WWE rings feel.
No, dude, when I was really young, younger than you, like just super young too, like I would go to shows and like wouldn't even get in the arena yet. I would just be on the outside, like, like where the concessions are and stuff. And I would peek through like each little valley to see, and I would just see the ring and my heart and my heart would drop into my stomach. And I would get real nervous and excited because it's so larger than life and it's so big. And when you're actually there, it's actually looks smaller than it does on TV, but it's just grandiose, and to be even in the stands, let alone I can't even imagine what it's like to walk down the ramp or anything like that. So I think fighting for what we love and what we like is very important. So how is how is training going? Do you have any upcoming shows? Tell me a little bit about that.
Shows as of right now, I'm not booked for anything but fingers crossed because surprise announcements. Um,
Great.
but training's been going really good. I try to go at least once a week. I'm trying to amp it up to two if my body will let me.
Of
Today
course.
though, I did not go to training only because I promised my mom I'll practice driving. But
Hey, you know what? You got to drive to get there, right?
That's very true. Yeah. So I was practicing driving today, so I go to training. But
Good.
yeah, I've been trying to go consistently as much as possible. And it's just a really nice environment where everyone's just really accepting. And it's like, everyone's just so like nice and like they're all like patient and like ready to help you out, and it's just really cool to see that.
And that's what you need, and that's what we need more of in life, not only in this business, but in life. You know, a lot of people don't have that these days. So when you surround yourself with people like that, it's very important, to ground it in that moment. Um, so yeah, nothing coming up, but don't even think about it because you're training hard. You've done shows. It's not like you haven't. You've been doing your thing and have shown, I think, everybody what you're capable of. And I think it's only a matter of time before you find it, and you start really feeling that you're like, hey, like, oh wow, I didn't know I could do that. Oh hey, wow, I didn't know I could do that. It all clicks sometimes. We learn every day. We never stop learning, but you'll find it at some point. You'll be like, oh wow, okay, I can do this. It does happen, I promise. But yes, very important. So besides wrestling, tell me about any things that you're doing. The one thing that I do want to ask you is I saw you were doing photography.
I
First of
am.
all, your photos are great. They're
Thank you.
freaking fantastic. And I know you were doing some stuff at school before school ended with the photography and stuff. So tell me a little bit about that and what kind of got you going with that.
So, I'm in Votech. Basically, what it is I have a home school, which is my main high school, and then half the day, so I'm at my home high school, and the other half of the day, I go to Votech. So I'm in the
Hmm.
DVC program, which works with the print shop, multimedia, and photography. Um, since I like kind of like absorbed everything from photography, my teacher actually let me keep the camera the whole year until like the end of the school year because I just always used it. Um, but yeah, so I eventually got my own camera, and it's kind of like really cool, to say, "Hey, this is my camera," and I just been taking it wherever I go. Basically, I took it to Florida like for cheer events for my sister. I take it to wrestling
I
shows
saw
because
that.
I'm
Hmm.
just like, why not? Like, what's the worst that can happen if I bring it to a show? Like, I can get backstage pictures, pictures of people in the ring, possibly. Um, and yeah, I've been doing a lot like product photography too, which is cool. And like I had like one of my photos entered into Teen Arts that my teachers put in for me, which is cool because I got to go visit the Ocean County College, which is really cool. Uh,
Hmm.
and because of the program, which I'm really appreciative of, they helped me get certified in InDesign, Illustrator, and Photoshop. So it's like I have certifications and all that. So it's really cool.
That's awesome. That's awesome. You can't go wrong with having, added things that you can do and skill sets and whatnot. And again, it's probably like relaxing, it's enjoying, it's creative. You're very creative. So being able to have a creative outlet, I know you've done some stuff with YouTube, you do a lot of stuff online. So now you're adding another thing, which again is going to add more stuff. And, you keep at that and you'll really find a knack for it. I know a lot of people, my sister too, just started like taking photos and she's just for fun and she loves it, just capturing moments and hummingbirds and things like that. It's really cool. It really is cool. So is there anything that you want to add, Miss Becca? All right, I'll ask you a question.
Okay.
So what advice would you have for anyone starting out in wrestling? It's such a cliche thing to say, but I think having different flavors of people and what they say and what they take from things is cool. So shoot.
If you have the dream of becoming a wrestler, there's no reason not to live it out if you think you can do it. Because if as long as you have the drive and like you want it, like you want it bad enough, why not just go for it? Because I mean, what's the worst happens? You get into the business and you don't like it, but at least you know you did something really big that a lot of people don't do and they miss out on. So if you want to do it, just do it because you're not going to have the window to be able to do it forever. So you might as well start when you can if you want to do it.
That is the God's honest truth. We do not have forever. I know sometimes we like to think that we do, but life is very, very short, So I'm all about doing what you want to do, living your life to your best, live out your dreams because you never know what tomorrow brings. Now, one important question for you before we wrap it up here. Taylor ham or pork roll?
Pork roll.
What do you call it?
Pork roll.
Oh, you suck. That's because
Taylor
you're a
ham's
South Jersey
disgusting.
dwelling. Taylor ham is a brand, I'm
I'm
aware,
on the
but we
Jersey
call it Taylor
Shore.
ham.
I'm not up or down. I'm like in the middle area, but not even in the middle. I'm on the Jersey Shore.
Well, I'm from up north
I'm
originally.
from
I'm
Jersey. I'm
from
from
up north,
Jersey.
from Jersey here, you know?
Yeah,
Oh, my
it's the
Lanta.
Italian. Oh my Lanta,
Very
there's another
Italian.
one. Dude, I've been saying that. Oh my god, I've been saying that like to myself, and I'm like, I hate this. I sound like Vicky.
Oh boy, rubbing off on you.
I'm
So
like,
everyone,
this
where
is
they can find you
horrible.
on social media.
You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Becca X Wrestling. Also on YouTube at Becca Wrestling. And yeah, that's all the places you guys can check me out if you want to follow.
All right, Mrs. Becca Wiley. Well, I love you. I wish you the best of luck in everything. I know that you're going to do great things no matter what it is. Thank you for coming on Vicious Dishes. We out. Not yet.